Hello, everyone. Welcome to Electronic Visualization Lab at the University of Illinois, Chicago. I'm Athena Ngara, a senior data science major here at UIC. Today, I'm excited to demo our project on robotic digital twins, developed in collaboration with my colleagues here at UIC and Argonne National Laboratory with funding from the Department of Energy. To achieve our digital twin, we broke down the architecture into three components, which is the hardware, simulation, and the user interface. For the hardware, we're using the MyArm 300 by Elephant Robotics. For the simulation, we're using Omniverse ExaSim. And then for the user interface, we're using Unity and USD Composer. All these components share data over a network to make sure they're constantly being synchronized with each other. For our digital twin, our main platform is Omniverse. Omniverse is great as we're able to use 3D scene data in between applications while also using their OpenUSD file format. It also has a huge ecosystem of tools that we're able to utilize. However, for our project, our main two Omniverse tools is ExaSim for our simulation and OpenUSD Composer for our user interface. ExaSim handles all the heavy lifting for the robot. For example, like being able to simulate the actual robot's movements while also being able to send a command to the physical robot. Meanwhile, USD Composer and Unity are able to visualize the robot while we're able to interact with it within the VR interface. We're also using a combination of OptiTrack and of the icon systems to capture the real-time position and orientation of the robotic arm, shoulder, and wrist. The sensor data gets sent to the user interface where it's visualized alongside the simulated arm, allowing us to mirror the physical arm's state perfectly. Now let's dive into the demo with Hao, Fatima, and Hema. We've got 3 computers set up for the demo, and they all run on one nucleus. On the first computer, we are running ExaSim. Here you can see the robotic arm in action. On the second computer, we are running Unity, which we're using to connect the VR interface with the robot. On the third computer, we are running USD Composer, where we're visualizing the simulation and user actions in real time. Here's what's happening. Behind the scenes, we use something called Omniverse Live Session to synchronize user input between the VR headset in USD Composer and ExaSim. So when someone interacts with the simulation in VR, ExaSim processes the input and sends the appropriate command to the physical robotic arm. In this example, we've set an inverse kinematics target within ExaSim, which is essentially the cube you see in the simulation. ExaSim then uses its IK solver to calculate the joint angles of the robotic arm. These calculated angles are sent to the physical arm using a networking library called 0MQ over Wi-Fi. This allows the user to control the arm accurately with low latency by moving the cube in the simulation. A key part of making this digital twin work is the network setup. We've got data constantly flowing between the robotic arm, ExaSim, and the VR interface, all in real time. For this, we're using 0MQ to send and receive data across the network. By testing different configurations of platforms, we've landed on this combination: NVIDIA ExaSim for the robotic simulation, Omniverse and Unity for the VR interface, and 0MQ for the networking. It's a pretty powerful setup, but the best part is how smoothly everything works together. If you look at the screen, you can see Hema is using the VR headset. They're moving this cube in the virtual environment and in real time. The robotic arm is moving in sync. On the computer running ExaSim, you can see that the robotic arm in the simulation mirrors exactly what's happening in Unity's VR interface. And when we check the physical robotic arm here in front of us, it's performing the exact same movements. Everything is connected and synchronized perfectly. This means that even remote users can both control the robotic arm or observe the simulation without needing to be in person. And that wraps up our digital twin demo. It's been amazing sharing this project with all of you, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing how we're using robotics, VR, and digital twin technology to push the limits of human-robotic interaction. The potential here is incredible, from science and manufacturing to solving real-world problems in ways we couldn't before. I'm Athena Ngara, and I truly appreciate you joining us today. I hope the demo sparked your imagination about what's possible, and I can't wait to see where these innovations take us next. We'd like to acknowledge the funding from the Advanced Scientific Computing Research and Isotope R&D and production programs under the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Science, which makes this project possible. I also want to thank the faculty and research staff at Argonne and the Electronic Visualization Lab at UIC for their guidance and support, and give a huge shout out to the team for all their hard work on this project. Please use the following QR codes to see more about our work.